Shakespeare was born and raised in Stratford-upon-Avon. So the first scene offers the introduction and hence it is called the exposition scene. So the fact that Caesar's ghost haunted Brutus is to be observed here. He fears that Caesar will become a tyrant. Welcome dear students. I am Mrs. Reena, lecturer, Department of English at Vidhyaashram, 1st grade college, MYSURU. Today in this session, let us discuss the play Julius Ceasar of B.C.A. 4th Sem. In this session, we are going to know about the playwright and about the play, the date of the play, structure of the play, and the different characters of the play. Now let us know about the author of this play, that is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born in the year 1564 and he lived up to 1616. Shakespeare was born and raised in Stratford-upon-Avon in Warwickshire. He was an English playwright, poet, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. So his extant works, including collaborations, consist of some 39 plays, 154 sonnets, 3 long narrative poems, and few other verses. Shakespeare produced most of his known works between 1589 and 1613. His 17 comedies include The Merchant of Venice and Much Ado About Nothing. These two are the famous comedy. Among his 10 history plays are Henry V and Richard III. The most famous among his tragedies are Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. Now let us know a few things about the play Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is a tragedy by William Shakespeare written around 1599. As movie posters and book covers like to say, the play is based on a true story. That is, the historical events surrounding the conspiracy against the ancient Roman leader Julius Caesar and the civil war that followed his death. Shakespeare portrays Caesar's assassination on the 8th of March. This is considered as the 74th day in the Roman calendar. So on that day, whoever had the debt to pay, they had to clear that on 74th day of their calendar. So according to our calendar, it is 15th March. Here the author portrays the assassination on this day by a group of conspirators who feared the ambitious leader. He would turn the Roman Republic into a tyrannical monarchy. Tyrannical monarchy means into an oppressive rule. Next, the date of the play. The play Julius Caesar first printed in the first folio edition published in the year 1623. The editors and critics of Shakespeare opined that it was probably written and acted either in the year 1599 or 1600 AD. Now let us look into the structure of the play. Shakespeare Julius Caesar is a tragedy in 5 acts. It's a tragedy in 5 acts. So in the first act, it is the opening scene. Then in the second one, growth and development. Then comes the climax, then fall, and at last the catastrophe or disaster. So the first scene offers the introduction, and hence it is called the exposition scene. So the opening of the movement. So here the conspiracy begins to take shape in the second scene of the first act. Next comes the growth and development. The development of the conspiracy from the second scene to the end of the second act. Next is the climax. That is, the assassination of Caesar takes place in the first scene of the third act. The force of action lies in its execution, and the dramatist achieves it here. Next is the fall. So the events that take place after the murder of Caesar and the Battle of Philippi are bracketed here. So the fact that Caesar's ghost haunted Brutus is to be observed here. Next is the catastrophe of the play or the disaster of the play, the defeat of the deaths by suicide of Cassius and Brutus. Complete the action that began with Lupercal. At the end, Brutus and Cassius, who were the main conspirators, commits suicide. Lupercal is the harvest festival. Now let us go through the characters of this play one by one. So the title itself, Julius Caesar, so he is the main character here. So let's see who is Julius Caesar in this play. So Julius Caesar, a successful military leader who wants the crown of Rome. Unfortunately, he is not the man he used to be and is imperious, easily flattered, and overly ambitious. So Julius Caesar is imperious, easily flattered, and overly ambitious. So he is assassinated midway through the play. Later, his spirit appears to Brutus at Sardis and also at Philippi. So let's know more things about him when we go through the play act-wise. The next character is Flavius and Marullus. Flavius and Marullus, we can see them in the opening scene itself. So they are the tribunes. Tribunes means they are the officers. Tribunes means they are the officers elected by the citizens to take care of their interests. So Flavius and Marullus are the tribunes who wish to protect the plebeians from Caesar's tyranny. They break up a crowd of commoners waiting to witness Caesar's triumph and are put to silence during the feast of Lupercal for removing ornaments from Caesar's statues. Next one is Marcus Brutus. Marcus Brutus was a noble man and he was faithful towards Julius Caesar, but Cassius turns him into the main conspirator. Brutus is a judicial magistrate of Rome. He is widely admired for his noble nature. He joins the conspiracy because he fears that Caesar will become a tyrant. But his idealism causes him to make several poor judgments and impedes his ability to understand those who are less scrupulous than he. Brutus defeats Octavius' forces in the first battle at Philippi, but loses the second battle and commits suicide rather than be taken as a prisoner. Next is Cassius. So he is the brother-in-law of Brutus and an acute judge of human nature. Cassius organizes the conspiracy against Caesar and he recruits Brutus by passionate argument and by deviously placed forged letters. Next comes Mark Antony. He appears first as a confident and devoted follower of Caesar. So, Mark Antony is a confident and devoted follower of Caesar, and he offers Caesar a crown during the feast of Lupercal. He has a reputation for sensuous living, but he is also military accomplished, politically shrewd, and skilled at oration. He and Octavius defeat Brutus and Cassius at Philippi. Next character is a soothsayer. A soothsayer means one who can foresee the future. So here, this soothsayer warned Caesar during the celebration of feast of Lupercal to beware of the Ides of March. Then he again warns Caesar as he enters the Senate house. Okay, here the soothsayer warns about the danger which is about to face by Julius Caesar. Here he warns him twice, but Caesar did not mind that. Next is Porshia, the wife of Brutus and the daughter of Marcus Cato. She argues that those familial relationship make her strong enough to conceal Brutus' secret. So, Brutus and Portia, they had a good family relationship that Brutus used to share his secrets to her. But on the morning of the assassination, she is extremely agitated by the fear that she will reveal what Brutus has told her. She was less confident herself, thinking that she may reveal the secret what Brutus told her. She commits suicide when she realizes that her husband's fortunes are doomed. Next one is Calphurnia. She is wife of Julius Caesar. She urges him to stay at home on the day of the assassination because of the unnatural events of the previous night, as well as her prophetic dream in which Caesar's body is a fountain of blood. Okay, so here also she also wants Caesar to stay at home, not to go to the Senate next day, but to stay at home. So here also he did not listen to Calphurnia. Next is Kaska. So he is a witness of Caesar's attempts to manipulate the people of Rome into offering him the crown. So he reports the failure to Brutus and Cassius. He joins the conspiracy the night before the assassination, and he is the first conspirator to stab Caesar. So Kaska is the first conspirator to stab Caesar. Next is Cicero. He is a senator and a famous orator of Rome. He is calm and philosophical. When he meets the excited Kaska during the night of portentous tumult preceding the day of the assassination. Next is Cinna. He is the conspirator who urges Cassius to bring noble Brutus into the conspiracy. So, Cinna is the one who says Cassius to bring the noble Brutus into the conspiracy. Next, Lucius. He is Brutus' young servant, and Brutus treats him with understanding, gentleness, and tolerance. Next is Decius Brutus. So the conspirator who persuades Caesar to attend the Senate on the day of 8th of March by fabricating and flattering interpretations of California's portentous dream and by telling Caesar that the Senate intends to crown him as a king. So here Decius Brutus is the person who inspires Julius Caesar to enter the Senate, to come into the Senate. He says that the people in the Senate are willing to crown you, so you have to come to the Senate without fail. Next is Metellus Cimber, the conspirator who attacked Caesar's attention by requesting that his brother's banishment be repealed, allowing the assassins to surround Caesar and thereby giving Kaska the opportunity to stab him from behind. Next is Trebonius. So he is the first of the conspirators to second Brutus' argument that Antony be spared. Second argument, they decide that they have to spare Mark Antony, who is a faithful friend of Julius Caesar. So Trebonius lures Antony out of the Senate house so that the other conspirator can kill Caesar without having to fear Antony's intervention. So here he is the conspirator who brings Mark Antony out of the Senate. Consequently, he is the only conspirator who does not actually stab Caesar. So he is the only, among the conspirators, he is the only one who does not stab Caesar. Next is Caius Ligurius. No friend of Caesar's, he is inspired by Brutus' nobility to cast off his illness and join the conspirators in the early morning of the 8th of March. So he is the conspirator who joined the conspirator in the early morning of 8th of March. Next is Publius, an elderly senator who arrives with the conspirators to escort Caesar to the capital. He is stunned as he witnesses the assassination. So Brutus sends him out to tell the citizen that no one else will be harmed. Next is Artemidorus. He gives Caesar a letter as the emperor enters the capital. In the letter, he lists the conspirators by name and indicates that they intend to kill him. But Caesar does not read it. Okay, so if he would have read that letter, he would have escaped from the hands of the conspirator. So the soothsayer also gave a message to him. His wife California also asked him to stay at home, and Artemidorus also gave a letter. Through the letter, he helped Julius Caesar to come out of the danger. But Julius Caesar, if he would have listened to these three people, he would have saved from the conspirators. Next is Octavius Caesar. He is the adopted son and heir of Julius Caesar. He is one of the triumvirs. Triumvirs are a group of three people who equally take care of the administrative departments. So he is one of the triumvirs who rule following the death of Caesar. He and Antony led the army that defeats Cassius and Brutus at Philippi. Next, Emilius Lapidus. He joins Antony and Octavius to form the second triumvirate to rule the Roman Empire following the assassination of Caesar. So the triumvirate or the three members are here. So Octavius, then Mark Antony, and Lapidus. So they 3 are the officers equally in charge to take care of the administration. So they form the second triumvirate. Next one is Populius Lena, the senator who wishes Cassius well in his enterprise as Caesar enters the Senate house. So this comment intensifies the dramatic tension in the moments immediately prior to the assassination by causing Cassius and Brutus to briefly fear that they have been betrayed. Okay, so he is the person who wishes all the best to Cassius as he enters the Senate, as Caesar enters the Senate. When he wished Cassius good luck, there was a tension among Cassius and Brutus, thinking that they are going to be betrayed by this man. So this is all about today's session. Hope you understood about the playwright. Then you got an introduction to the play. Then we went through the different characters of the play. So we will come to know more about these characters when we discuss the whole play. Then also in this lesson we came to know about the structure of the play and the date of the play. In the next session, let us discuss Julius Caesar, Act 1. Thank you. Stay safe and healthy.